The European Parliament elections are just a few days away, and in Europe one cataclysmic event is followed by the next. There was the burning down of the Notre Dame Cathedral, which is not talked about anymore. Just a few days ago there was an Austrian political crisis, where a rather successful coalition with a national populist party was destroyed by a scandal. Then there are various child activists and social media stars which are more and more influencing the public opinion. There's Greta Thunberg fighting climate change. Just today there was a video by German YouTuber Rezo, who tried to destroy the largest party in Germany, the Christian Democratic Union. It is clear that Germany and the EU are at a watershed moment. Either they go down with the disastrous open border politics and the resulting flood of crime and poverty, but staying morally clean, or being labeled Nazi by excluding the exploding world population from entering rich Europe. Either way, Germany will end one way or another, at least how we know it. No social welfare state can deal with an unchecked immigration. It's impossible to support more and more poor people with a shrinking well-educated working class, even at German efficiency. However, instead of going more into this political crisis, I wanted to talk about a recent music video called Deutschland, Germany, by the German rock band Rammstein. Like all these other events I alluded to, this song and video don't seem to have come out randomly at this time, but they're really a result of these turbulent times. It certainly highlights the conflict among German people based on its Nazi past, and it asks if and how Germany should be allowed to continue to exist. But since I want to talk about body language, I will go into a previous interview by the lead singer Till Lindemann, as he very much reflects this conflict of the German past. Interview is about the making of a particular video. The song is called Mother, and of course he's speaking German and the subtitles appear in Spanish, but it's about body language, and the verbal statements are not that important.
Ja, Waisenkinder irgendwie, dann der Tod.
So he just mentioned death, the personification of death being part of the video, being on a boat, and you could see how it was difficult for him to talk about that. It cost some energy for him, which seems surprising because the band, the songs are all about death, pornography and fear.
Wir wollten da eigentlich in dem See ein paar Tauchszenen machen, also mit aus dem Wasser rauskommen und Zeug machen. Aber es war wirklich trotz Neoprenanzug. Allein wenn nur die Birne unter Wasser gehalten.
So what we see immediately is this really low energy level he has, which seems surprising for being a lead singer of a rock band. It seems to cost a lot of effort for him to talk about the making of the video. He doesn't find the words, he's just waving his hands. It's a dismissive gesture. Again, this is also surprising because this should be an exciting moment talking about the making of a video. And this is really what it's all about with him. What he does, he looks down a lot, and this is an expression of shame and guilt. So he sees the sadness in his face, which is very characteristic for him. He's also full of conflict, that his voice is also very low and monotonic and very quiet. One can also see immediately that he's all about verbal communication and singing because just of his mouth. It's a very wide mouth. It reminds you of Mick Jagger from Rolling Stones or Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. The mouth and the voice is his main instrument. The upper lip is also very refined. This might be someone who is quite astute and in particular musically oriented. Someone who plays instruments like the trombone, for instance, or trumpet. So I don't know if he does that.
Aber es war wirklich trotz Neoprenanzug. Allein wenn du die Birne unter Wasser gehalten hast, das war so unglaublich kalt. Und die Kollegen sollten da irgendwie mitmachen, das war also...
You see again, he's shaking his head a lot and now he's closing the eyes. That's shame, guilt, exhaustion. And now I'm coming to the Deutschland song, which was very controversial. Some people seem to think that the band is really Nazi because of the topics and the voice of the lead singer, but it's clear that it's really about this conflict of the German past. It's not presented in a glorious way. The violence is part of German's past, and that's why it's in the videos. So the video was quite remarkable in the song as well, because it goes to these less glorious times of German history, from the German Nazi regime to the Socialist Unitary Party in the former East Germany. So it's very theatrical. And then there are also these light beams appearing in the video, which very much remind one of the pioneering German electronic music from the 1980s, like Kraftwerk. So there's this very much Germanness, this German history also in the music scene included. So here's these controversial scenes playing in a German concentration camp, and you saw this black woman, which represents Germania, the personification of Germany. So here in this video you really see the violence and the craziness being part of German's history, and you can't deny that. So how does Germany deal with its past? And I think in a sense this video contributed more to answering this question or even addressing the questions than decades of building memorials and commemoration ceremonies where everything becomes quiet, looks away, and then afterwards continues with life like nothing has happened. The way out of this dilemma is by turning holy and not bearing German children. In the end, the descendants of the Germans are a bunch of puppies. This is reflected in the society. Germans don't want to have kids anymore, either because it's too animalistic for a highly developed society, it's maybe just too strenuous and it's better to go on vacations, or it's the German guilt that Germany wants to destroy itself. In German, Deutschland schafft sich ab. Or you can blame it on the environment, that bringing children into this world just accelerates the destruction of our planet. In either case, Germans and people in Europe in general have a very low birth rate, and instead you see couples walking their 2 or 3 dogs in the park. And so in some sense, this is how our society ends. Make your vote count. In any case, see you and goodbye.